Welcome to Hot Boxing Talk, South Africa's very own online boxing talk. So we did things a little differently this week on Hot Boxing Talk. We had Rob Katz filling in for Cyril for our weekly chat with Cyril and Hayden. So it's going to be Hayden and Rob Katz. And we spoke to Rob Katz on his opinion on the IBF heavyweight champion of the world, Anthony Joshua. This is the Hot Boxing Talk. Joining us here on the Hot Boxing Talk is our friend and historian, and no stranger to the Hot Boxing Talk, Rob Katz. Rob, welcome to Hot Boxing Talk again. We are going to be talking about predominantly Anthony Joshua, the new IBF heavyweight champion of the world, 16-0, 60 knockouts. Now, Rob, your impression of this kid?
Okay, I quite like what I see. So far, he's done all that's asked of him. He's taken care of whoever's been put in front of him. No problems. I think he's great. I think it's great for boxing that he's come along. Two question marks, which again not his fault. He hasn't been able to answer them. Does he have a chin? But for me, the biggest question mark is he athletic enough? Is there going to be a athletic fighter put in front of him which will give him angles, hit him with speed, combination punches, and can he handle that? He does seem a little bit mechanical. But in fairness, what's been put in front of him, he's taken care of the business, and he's exciting, and he punches hard, and I like what I see.
So if I don't stop, you're going to carry on talking. Let me ask you, his last fight previously, he got buckled quite badly in the second round against Dylan White. You say his chin's untested, but he was hurt quite badly against a guy who can crack, but he's not the hardest of punches.
Well, that's it. That's the exact point. He's not the hardest of punches, and who's really Dylan White?
But exactly. But having said that, don't you think that vulnerability makes him more exciting?
It does, and I think he's the greatest thing to have happened to heavyweight boxing for the last 10 years. He really is. I really do.
And I actually concur with that. I do.
And I think he's got a lot of potential, and I think he certainly is the future of heavyweight boxing.
Okay, so now he's the IBF heavyweight champion of the world. What does it mean?
It's a hell of a good question you ask, and we say IBF heavyweight champion of the world. I'd like to say he's the IBF title holder. Charles Martin, in my opinion, is the most inept heavyweight
so that's my next
holder of all time.
So let me ask you, has there been a heavyweight champion worse than him?
Maybe Primo Carnera, because there are a lot of rumors it was all mob. His title fights were mob helped.
And also, you're kind of giving your age away, Rob.
Exactly.
But
I can't think of a heavyweight champion in the modern era more inept than Charles Martin.
So let me ask you, did he even put up a fight losing his championship?
No fight whatsoever. He actually came to the ring. I don't know what he thought he was in. You wouldn't have expected this guy to be in a world title fight. So
someone actually said that he looked like a rapper instead of a fighter.
Yes, exactly.
Now, you are management for Anthony Joshua. Who should he fight next and why?
I think Anthony Joshua is ready to fight Tyson Fury, but I see the fight is made between Tyson Fury and Klitschko.
And the rematch.
And I remember in a previous, I think it was about a year ago, Hayden actually said that he thinks Anthony Joshua will probably just miss the Klitschko era. Now, if Fury beats Klitschko, and there's all probability that he will, because I think Klitschko is on the down, AJ will miss the Klitschko era.
Well, it's interesting because Vladimir actually tweeted my little baby brother in reference to Anthony Joshua, welcome to the world championship level of heavyweight boxing. My question to you is, how does he go against a guy like David Hayes, fluid, who's got a good left hook and a good right hand? How's AJ going to deal with a guy who can move and punch?
I don't think that David Hayes is the fighter that he was 3-4 years ago. He hasn't been that active. He's a good classy fighter. I don't think he has the strength to keep AJ off, and I think if AJ catches him, he will take him out. So I think.
And again, if Hay catches him?
If Hay catches AJ, that's the test. Because I think if Hay catches him, he'll do more than Dylan White. He'll hit him with more punches on the target, and it's an unknown.
Okay, my last question for you: the three heavyweight champions, Deontay Wilder, BC, Tyson Fury, and now AJ. Where does AJ fit into the three?
Better than Fury. I think he'll knock Fury out. A good fight against Deontay Wilder. Maybe not experienced enough for Wilder today, but in a year's time.
You say that, but he's a world champion now. And that kind of gives it.
He's a title holder. He certainly is a title holder. I'd like to see him fight Wilder in a year's time, and I think he'll beat Wilder in a year's time.
This is Rob Katz, talking right here on Hot Boxing Talk. It's that time of the week where two gentlemen, and it's not Cyril, he couldn't make it this week. It's Rob Katz and Hayden Jones joining me for this week's Talk in Hot Boxing Talk. And we are keeping it local this weekend because Johnny Muller is having a rematch with Kevin Lerena. It's part 2. The first fight, Johnny Muller comprehensively outboxed Kevin Lerena. Rob, let me put you on the spot. Who's your pick and why?
I think Kevin's got confidence. He's the South African title holder. I think he's on the up. I don't think he fought a particularly good fight against Johnny. But I think that if Kevin brings his A fight to the fight, I think Kevin wins.
How?
And I think he can even stop him in the late rounds.
Okay, so Kevin was trained by Sean Smith. He's now defected to his brother Peter Smith. What difference is that going to make?
I don't think it's going to make much of a difference in terms of the fight preparation coming to this fight. They have a plan that they're going to go into the fight with. If they execute on the night, they should come out with the win. Yeah,
now, Hayden, I'm going to put you on the spot because I'm going to stay with you. You were at the press conference. In terms of confidence, who do you think had more confidence? Was it Johnny or Kevin?
I think Johnny had more of a respect factor and Kevin had more of a confidence factor. You can see he's beaming from his last win against Dion Coetzee, and that could really play a factor in this.
And that's my next question, Rob. The win over Dion Coetzee, what did it mean for Kevin? Because you hurt him very badly in the first round, couldn't put him away, and went 12 rounds with him. What does it mean?
Look, Dion Coetzee is a tough fighter. And I don't think Kevin was ever going to stop him. But Kevin fought well. I thought Kevin comprehensively outboxed him. I think it will do his confidence the world of good to know that he can compete and win at that level. And hopefully he can take, or for his sake, hopefully he can take that form into the fight with Johnny. I think it'll be good for South African boxing if Kevin wins.
So you've seen Johnny sparring with Ron. He's been looking very impressive in good condition and stuff. He's had 2 very hard fights since he beat Johnny. A lot of people say he's taken a lot of headshots and stuff, specifically against Usyk. What do you think, coming into this fight with Kevin Lerena, the damage psychologically is it going to affect Johnny at all?
You know, at this level it would, because I mean, even the fight against Masternak, I felt he lost that fight. Masternak dropped him twice, so he's taking a lot of shots, and that could play a role in this. But in terms of this fight, you know, there might be a level difference between a guy like Usyk and Kevin. So let's see how the fight plays out.
So Rob, in the first fight, I backed Kevin. I got that wrong. Who did you back in the fight for the first fight?
I did back Johnny because I thought Johnny was more experienced. I thought that Kevin hadn't competed at that level, and Johnny had. And you know, I think that the result probably was an expected result, but I think times have changed, and I think that, you know, as Hayden says, Johnny's come off 2 very, very hard fights. We don't know what that's going to do to Johnny. You know, a fighter does sometimes age in the ring. Kevin hasn't really taken punishment. He's the younger guy, he's the stronger guy, he's the guy coming in on a win and a good win, and he's got confidence. I'm excited. I look forward to the fight.
So yeah, here's the thing, right? Johnny's first fight at cruiserweight was against Kevin. He's filled out really nicely in that division. Do you think that's going to play a factor as well?
I definitely think that could play a factor. I mean, the fact that Johnny's now naturally a cruiserweight as opposed to the first time eating up to becoming a cruiserweight, he looks a much bigger guy.
More solid, yeah.
So it looks like in terms of size, he could match Kevin this time.
Okay, so he says Kevin. Who do you say and why? And how?
I'm going to say Kevin on points.
The 2 gentlemen have spoken. It's Rob and Hayden right here on Hot Boxing Talk. So that's the end of Hot Boxing Talk for this week. Catch us again next week from myself, Colin, Nomaganjani, Nathan and Hayden Jones. We will see you again then.